wenyamazana, helele wenyamazana, helele wenyamazana. But what is hlale hlathe, hlale hlathe, athe hlale hlathe, hlale hlathe. Tiyo mama tiyo ihlangene. Awule ngoma, dlala le ngoma, awunyiko le ngoma, iyo le ngoma ma, le ngoma, here, awule ngoma, awunyiko le ngoma, dlala le ngoma ma, le ngoma. Ati to mama to mama to. Eskati shivambu abula ma pranchi beningeko. Eskati shivambu abula ma pranchi beningeko. Beningeko. Ikisi musi na fambani yabona kokwanele kiyali. Ikisi musi na fambani yabona kokwanele ngonese. Logo nefeka bakoma hoko banehlokela. Logo nefeka bakoma hoko banehlokela. Badani sekela hoko bayithala timangale tsanene. Badani sekela hoko bayithala timangale tsanene. Helele. Bari mayaga. Awelele senzene tena limubani flighti atomantwena. Awelele retengirena liutlawa abasaka utlawa rena. Senzene tena engangane garage ngathengi petro ngiyoshisa imihlwe. Kane garage ngathengi petro ngiyoshisa imihlwe. Ari karao thale kanzi karao tiyo mama tiyo. Oh, ngiti yini socialism. Oh, akuna muntu. Yini socialism. Oh, akuna muntu. Ngoba yesaba baba befuna ngoba yesaba baba befuna. Gio.
Amanda. Mayibuye.
Afrika.
Mayibuye. Afrika. Thank you very much, comrades. May I request that we be orderly and seated. This row here, right in front of me, is reserved for the kingdom. The Council of Elders of Afrika Mayibuye movement and the leadership of the religious sector, may we give our elders the necessary respect. I'm going to request that we fill up these seats here. Comrades, let's fill up the front seats. No empty seat in front. Let us do so there, the Eastern Cape. Not even a single seat empty. There's one seat there which is empty. Let's fill up that seat. Thank you very much, comrades. Let's fill up those seats, comrades. Thank you very much, comrades, for a warm welcome for our Council of Elders, the President and the national officials of Afrika Mayibuye, and the National Court team members, delegates in this first Afrika Mayibuye National Convention. Welcome once more on the last day of the convention. I hope we are all well rested, and I believe that what we came here to do, it was done, and we are about to call on the first Deputy President of Afrika Mayibuye movement to come and give account of the work that was done last night on all commissions, because commissions gives us an idea as to where we want to go as an organization, correct where we need to correct and map a way forward. I'm inviting to the podium the first Deputy President of Afrika Mayibuye movement, Tatowa Mahohodi, to come and give us an account of yesterday's work.
No, it's fine. Amandla. Amandla. Afrika Mayibuye. Afrika. Afrika. Elilizwe, lizwe, lizwe. Elilizwe labantu abamnyama. Elilizwe, lizwe, lizwe. Elilizwe labantu abamnyama. Elilizwe labokhokhobe. Elilizwe labantu abamnyama. Elilizwe, lizwe, lizwe. Elilizwe lathengiswa. Elilizwe lakashibambu. Elilizwe labantu abamnyama. Elilizwe lakashaka. Elilizwe lakahintsa. Elilizwe lakamantatis. Elilizwe lakangungunyana. Elilizwe lakasikhukhulu. Elilizwe lakakhosita. Elilizwe lakakhafela. Elilizwe lakalobengulu. Elilizwe Thabo. Elilizwe labantu abamnyama. Elilizwe lathengiswa. Elilizwe Mayibuye. Elilizwe, lizwe, lizwe. Elilizwe labokhokhobe. Elilizwe, lizwe, lizwe. Elilizwe labantu abamnyama. Elilizwe lathengiswa. Elilizwe laphathwa ngumdlwembe. Elilizwe, lizwe, lizwe. Elilizwe labantu abamnyama. Elilizwe mfoka shiba. Elilizwe Mayibuye. Elilizwe, lizwe, lizwe. Elilizwe labukhukhubi. Elilizwe lathengiswa. Elilizwe labantu abamnyama. Amandla Afrika Mayibuye. Thank you very much. Comrade Chairperson Mabatu Mukausi. Allow me at this point to pass our salutations to the President General and the Generalissimo of the mighty Afrika Mayibuye movement. Accompanied by his officials and the full complement of the National Core team, the PCTs that are here, the RCTs, the SCTs, our local and international guests, our religious formations, Baruti Barona, our traditional leaders and healers, Dingaka le dikgosi tsa rona, comrades and compatriots, revolutionary intelligentsia of our communities, commanders and commissars of the indispensable, insoluble, indivisible, undefeatable, front troopers and ground forces of the mighty, glorious Mayibuye movement. Matabane re a le dumedisa ka boitumelo ba gore weekend e le berekile. We are at that point towards concluding our conference, comrades, to acknowledge the work that you have done and to give the President a sense as part of the plenary conclusion of this work that was done in commissions yesterday. So what we are going to do, comrades, is that instead of taking individual reports from the commissions, we have decided that in order to save time, we are just going to take one consolidated report from all the commissions. We will then have to make an acknowledgement, comrades, that in the commissions, our approach was that we had specific terms of reference, Comrade President. The first part in the terms of reference was responding to the Constitution. The second part was responding to the notes given to say what is it that these commissions must be focused on. The penultimate part was dealing with a response of the commissions to the proposed policy document, which we call Musupatseli. So, comrades, this is how you have structured your reports from the commission. So I am your mirror. I'm simply giving you back what you gave us. And in the end, I will then conclude by just teasing out the ideological character of the movement which is contained in the basic policy document, and then make conclusive remarks about how we are going to tie that at the end to make sure that we have one policy document that is able to reflect a product of your discussions. So let us start. The commission that we will take first is the Local Government Commission. So comrades who were sitting in the Local Government Commission, we have decided that to save time, we will not reflect on the laborious background that you gave. As we will do with other commissions, we will focus only on the resolutions you took. So the first resolution you took, comrades, was that you are proposing to plenary specifically the establishment of heads of a position on heads of elections, which is argued that it must be a full-time responsibility at head office. The second thing, which is part of the constitutional discussions that you resolved on, was that you are suggesting that we need to clearly state in the Constitution that Afrika Mayibuye is a legal persona capable of suing and being sued. The third resolution of the Local Government Commission was around this question of democratic centralism. Specifically, you resolved that we need to reaffirm the correct application of the principle of democratic centralism as a foundational principle to our organizational conduct. The other resolution is to translate the Constitution into vernacular languages, ensuring cultural and linguistic accessibility, primarily owed to the fact that we are an Africanist organization and that we cannot continue to perpetually communicate to each other in the colonial languages of our former masters. To exercise, therefore, the demon of our colonization, we are arguing here essentially that the starting point is language. Of course, necessitated by the fact that language is an important conveyor belt of our culture. The other resolution coming out of this commission is the issue of inclusivity and vulnerable groups. Specifically, a proposal here is to insert a co-option clause enabling leadership to ensure representation and inclusion of vulnerable groups. The other proposed insertion is the following: that members must join voluntarily and confirm that they are not members or associates of other political organizations except those explicitly recognized as associates in the terms of the Constitution, Afrika Mayibuye. The other proposal from this commission is to amend the phrase "respect decisions of elected leadership" and replace it with "respect decisions of leadership." The other specific proposal is to affirm that the consultative process shall be a permanent feature of the organization, supported by a dedicated consultative structure. This is in tune with the comments made by the President in his opening address, that at all material times, we must be able to be in touch with each other, but importantly in touch with the masses of our people on the ground, to ensure that whatever decisions we take, particularly the strategic ones, they are in tune with the pulse of the times. The other specific recommendation that came from this commission was to adopt the term of office provisions as proposed in the draft without alteration. The other proposal that came from this commission was to review and consider reducing the number of members required per branch to enable more localized organizing. The other proposal is to ensure clear alignment and synergy between organizational structures and electoral terms. On the issue of quorums and meeting requirements, this commission, comrades, has proposed a specific insertion that says we need to ensure that the Constitution provides unambiguous clarity regarding quorums for all categories of meetings. The Commission went further and spoke on a plethora of other issues, and one of these relates to the issue of local government elections. I will not talk to the issues you raised under noting what you think must be the background of these resolutions. I'll go specifically to the resolutions, comrades, in order to save time, because your background is very voluminous. This commission resolved on the issue of ward demarcation and traditional authority alignment, that wards must be demarcated according to the village boundaries and aligned to areas under the stewardship of traditional leaders. The second resolution is the issue of budget allocation and municipal grading. The commission resolved that municipal grading must not determine budget allocation. Instead, allocation must be based on developmental infrastructure needs, prioritizing less developed and historically disadvantaged areas. The other issue that has been deliberated extensively was on the issue of standardization of councillor remuneration. So the resolution of this commission was that all councillors must earn the same remuneration, irrespective of category or grade of municipality, and their salaries must be paid directly to the national fiscus. And I can tell you, comrades, this is a commission that was chaired by the Secretary General. And I know that because he's a communist, I think he was thinking of a classless society here. Integration of budget functions. The commission resolved that budget of national and provincial departments whose functions directly impact communities must be infused into municipalities for localized implementation. The commission also resolved on the issue of abolition of tenders and legislative overall, which issue the president had given the political background to our posture ideologically, to say that we need to develop a state that is developmental and does not operate on tenders. So the commission in this regard spoke to a resolution around rapid internal capacity that must be developed with municipalities to abolish dependency on external tenders, and that there must be a complete overhaul of the MFMA, which is the Municipal Finance Management Act, the Municipal Systems Act, to enable a developmental capacity building and service-based local government model that is able to reflect the kind of local government system that Mayibuye wants in the forward, moving forward, so that it is able to champion the needs of our people. The commission also spoke about the restructuring of state provincial government, and specifically resolved that provincial government must be abolished and replaced by super municipalities. All provincial competencies and resources to be redirected to local government. The local government funding model must be overhauled to favor municipalities as their primary delivery arm of the state, understanding that local government system is at the coalface of service delivery, the very delivery that Mayibuye emphasizes for our people. The commission also spoke to Mayibuye caucuses and the fact that we must have permanent advisory structures to support the policy formulation processes, research and planning, strategic alignment with the organization. The commission spoke to issues around demarcation system reform and specifically resolved that there must be an overhaul of the demarcation system and a restructuring of the demarcation board to include sectors of society currently excluded. The commission also spoke to issues of security and strategic classification and specifically resolved that municipalities must be declared national key points and strictly guarded by the state. On the comments of the commission regarding the basic policy document, we will focus only on the resolutions and again exclude the elaborate background that you gave. Regarding issues of economic sovereignty and land restoration, the commission spoke on the issue that the movement should pursue a sovereign economic agenda that breaks dependency and builds an internal people-centered economy driven by domestic resource mobilization, industrialization, and state capacity. It also resolved that the movement should champion expropriation of land without compensation, prioritizing dispossessed communities, small-scale farmers, women's agricultural cooperatives, and youth-led initiatives. The Commission resolved that the state shall declare minerals, water, and strategic natural resources as a national property managed through the custodianship for the benefit of all citizens. The Commission also resolved on the issue of the Sovereign Wealth Fund, and specifically said it shall be capitalized by a dedicated portion of mineral royalties to ensure intergenerational equity and fund industrial development. On the issue of industrialization and job creation, the Commission specifically proposed that the movement adopts a left-driven industrial strategy, prioritizing import substitution, green manufacturing, re-industrialization of abandoned factory towns, and worker ownership models. The Commission spoke about the National Job Guarantee Program and that it should provide structured employment pathways for the unemployed, especially youth and caregivers, linked to infrastructure, environmental rehabilitation, and community development. The movement should support small-scale farmers and informal traders through investment in infrastructure finance, market access, legal protection against harassment and exploitation. On the issue of social transformation and human development, the Commission proposed that the movement commits to universal access to quality health care, integrating traditional knowledge systems with modern public health architecture. The Commission also came with a resolution that education shall be repositioned as the main instrument of liberation, restoring standards, prioritizing free education, and ensuring full digital access and eliminating dropouts through holistic learner support. The Commission came with a resolution that the movement should pursue a new housing agenda that ends apartheid spatial patterns and replaces mass poverty, housing with dignified, sustainable communities supported by infrastructure, transport, and economic activity. That the movement must also prioritize women, youth, and communities that have disabled people and indigenous communities as central pillars of the National Development Program. On the issue of infrastructure and service delivery, the Commission proposed that the movement adopts a sovereign energy mix which talks to retaining state-led nuclear and clean coal, expanding renewable energy generation under municipal leadership. Comrades, I'm going to skip a few things, Chair, to save time, because it looks like this is longer than what we have budgeted for. And by so saying, I'm moving into the social transformation aspect, which is the commission that was chaired by Deputy President Kamashwaban, and specifically focus on what was resolved on. The first resolution that was resolved on in this commission was on the issue of worker emancipation. This took place under, of course, the discussion of the Constitution. That the movement shall establish a permanent trade union movement aligned to Afrika Mayibuye, not as a labor desk, but a strategic and organic arm of worker leadership and control. The Commission also proposed that this trade union movement shall act as the vanguard of the worker rights, wage justice, workplace democracy, and strategic economic ownership. The Commission also reflected on the need to have a relationship between the worker movement and the Afrika Mayibuye movement, which should be defined as a permanent and mutually reinforcing alliance grounded in class struggle and transformation of the economy. On issues of gender-based violence and vulnerable groups, the Commission proposed and resolved that the movement shall establish a GBV and Vulnerable Groups Directorate as a formal structure, not a desk, responsible for GBV, femicide, disability, inclusion, by child development, and survivor support. And I suppose this is linked to the broad principle that would appear in our policy posture of our disposition to the triple oppression thesis that identifies that women in South Africa are oppressed as both a class, a race, and of course, in gender terms. The other resolution of the Commission spoke to the issue of movement structures, and specifically that the movement shall conduct continuous awareness, education, psychosocial support programs, and campaigns at branch, regional, and provincial level. The Commission responded to the issue of GBV on this matter and said that it should be guided by a psychosocial, cultural, economic, and community-based strategy that addresses both prevention and rehabilitation. On issues of social cohesion and community development, the Commission specifically spoke to the fact that the movement shall establishment of community development centers aligned with CETAs and accredited programs to capacitate youth, unskilled, semi-skilled workers, people with criminal records, and individuals with behavioral challenges. The movement shall mainstream indigenous games, cultural industries, arts, creative literature, African heritage practices to restore identity and nationhood. The Commission also spoke to the fact that the movement should collaborate with NGOs, NPOs, and social assistance platforms that demonstrate community impact, public benefit, rather ethical practice, and alignment with people-centered development. On the issue of black poverty, land, and employment, the Commission spoke to the fact that the movement shall establish a commission of inquiry on black poverty, focusing on landlessness, unemployment, spatial injustice, and intergenerational deprivation. Comrade Chair, allow me not to take what is left there because it talks more to the policy, and there will be a point in the end where I tie everything together up with the policy. So we move to social assistance. The resolutions of this commission, after the granular discussion that took place, was around a plethora of issues. Starting with the constitutional ones, the commission adopted a resolution which says that we need to speak about, we need to agree with the proposal made on the 3 deputy presidents. The other resolution of the commission is that we should resolve that the appointing authority of the movement shall remain unchanged, consistent with the need for organizational stability and coherence. The Commission spoke also on non-financial social assistance programs and specifically agreed that the movement shall implement social assistance programs at all organizational levels. And a few points, therefore, come under that resolution to unpack it. And it says that at what level? There should be school cleaning initiatives to ensure dignity and learning conditions. There should be community cleaning programs promoting environmental health and civil responsibility. I will not mention the rest, comrades. It's a long list, but this report will be shared with everyone. What is important is to say that in the sub-regional level, the Commission specifically said that rural sports tournaments must be there to strengthen social cohesion and safe recreation. The Commission also spoke to the establishment of soup kitchens, targeting vulnerable households and learners, and that our people shall not go hungry as long as Mayibuye still exists. Regional level, the Commission spoke to peer support groups to confront drug addiction through collective recovery models. It spoke to issues of partnership for support of NGOs, combating crime, GBV, and social harm. On the issue of the removal of leaders, which is the removal clause, there's a specific formulation that the Commission came with and says that the leadership within the Afrika Mayibuye movement is a position of trust, discipline, accountability, responsibility to the organization and the people it serves. And that the integrity, conduct, and ideological consistency of leaders directly influence organizational credibility, cohesion, and public confidence. And that when leadership fails in duty, breaches ethical standards, or acts contrary to the strategic and political direction of the movement, swift and fair corrective action is necessary. And that a clear, fair, and constitutional consistent process for the removal of leaders is essential to protect the movement's reputation, stability, and long-term mission, so that we don't have to be running around defending things that do not exist. The commission also came with grounds of removal, which speaks to issues of incapacity, incompetence, misconduct in the interest of the movement. And that it said that in the interest of the movement, including but not limited to political misalignment with organizational direction, conduct undermining unity and cohesion, statements or actions causing reputational damage to the movement. So there's an entire formulation, therefore, to clarify how the removal process will be engendered, which includes issues of initiation, notification, the inquiry team, the hearing, the findings, the endorsement, and the ratification process. I will not give you the granular details. So we move to the next commission, which was chaired by Dr. Chauke. We will, as a matter of consistency, jump the voluminous background that you gave us, comrades, and go specifically to the resolutions. Under the issue of constitutional amendments, the Commission started with a resolution that talks to the need to protect financial integrity and prevent decentralized misuse of resources. And that at national level, this should include the TG, the fundraiser general, and the presidents. At provincial level, the provincial treasurer, the provincial secretary, and the treasurer general. At regional level, regional treasurer, regional secretary, provincial treasurer. The Commission specifically proposed that the signatories shall operate jointly and severally with transparency mechanisms, including dual or triple signature release, mandatory monthly expenditure statements, immediate reporting for any off-budget requests, to make sure that our funds are managed through perestroika and glasnost openness. So the Commission spoke to the issue of finance committees and spoke to the issue of standing finance committees, and that they shall be established at national, provincial, regional, and branch level. And that these responsibilities shall include development of annual targets aligned to mobilization, execution of approved fundraising strategies, recording, auditing, and reporting of income expenditure, ensuring political alignment of all fundraising activities. Each committee must submit quarterly financial reports, annual review of revenue streams, risk and compliance updates. The Commission spoke at length on funding models, which range from organizational merchandise, mandatory contributions by leaders, organizational enterprise and NPOs, and the issue of membership fees, the member voluntary organizations, modernization of database, and all of those things. The Commission proposed specific things regarding the fundraising policy of the movement. I will capture only the principles, the core principles of which include anti-capitalist, anti-imperialist orientation. The rationale, as I was listening, because I was roaming through all these commissions was that we must not find ourselves in a situation where we ask for money from people who will want to impose an agenda that is contradistinct with our ideological orientation. In other words, getting money from people who want to drive us in the direction that will not take us towards our vision. The Commission, in its discussion around core principles, spoke to the issue of social justice and redistribution, the principle of grassroots first alignment, transparency and ethical accountability, compliance with South African law as a matter of principle. In other words, to suggest that whatever we do in our fundraising models should not at any point contradict the laws of the country, because we are a law-abiding movement. And the Commission also spoke to specific channels of fundraising, which include monthly, annual membership subscriptions, monetary and in-kind donations from aligned individuals and entities, national, provincial, and regional events, public fora, and political education platforms. I'm not sure how much you're going to raise from political education platforms, but this is your proposal. Grants from progressive and social justice foundations, crowdfunding campaigns aligned to specific tasks, by elections, disaster response, student support. The other issue that the Commission spoke to was specific permissible funding sources. It spoke to black working and middle class supporters, community-based organizations, progressive international institutions, foundations supporting anti-imperialist, pan-African, and socialist-orientated campaigns, which all of us know are all over the world. And if our policies are aligned, we should be able to know that those are the doors we must be able to go and knock for financial assistance, and not go to people who will give us money in Woolworths bags. Prohibited funding sources. The first one is Kat Matlala. I just wanted to check whether you are asleep. The movement shall not solicit nor accept corporate donations. This is the proposal. State departments, agencies, or state-owned entities, organizations whose priorities conflict with the values of the movement, entities that attempt policy influence through funding. This prohibition is central to protecting the revolution from capture. Because we know that these other organizations that exist in South Africa are getting money from all these sources. That is why they are unable to stand boldly in terms of the policies they pronounce, and end up working with the same organizations that fund, for instance, right-wing organizations. That is why it is easy for them to get into the GNU with some of these right-wing organizations and not feel embarrassed that they are, in real terms, sabotaging what they claim to be a commitment to the National Democratic Revolution. So in terms of fund management, we see specific proposals there which talk to the fundraiser general as the primary custodian. The Commission also proposes the fundraising management team which shall execute approved plans. The Commission also spoke to funds to reflect the priorities of the movement. The Commission specifically resolved that quarterly financial reports are mandatory and binding. The Commission spoke to ad hoc reporting, and that this may be required during campaigns. Comrades, I need to take a break to correct something here. Can you give us one song? Comrade. Comrades, the suggestion was that you must not go out. Comrades, don't go out, please. Remain in the hall and sing. Comrades, don't go out. We are still presenting. Please sing, but remain in the hall.
Sing along. Amandla.
Hayene pula. Pula ya medope. Hayene pula. Pula ya medope. Teola moya. Moya wo mokhetwa. Teola moya. Moya wo mogen. Teola moya. Moya wo mogen. Teola moya. Moya wo mogen. Oh ayene pola. Pola ya medope. Ayene pola. Pola ya medope. Hayene pola. Pola ya medope. Ayene pola. Pola ya medo. Bari teola moya. Moya o mokhet. Teoa moya. Teoa moya. Moya wo mokhetwa. Teoa moya.
Amandla. Comrades, the glitch here was caused by the fact that the Economic Transformation Commission gave us their report last. So it looks like the document was not saved into one. So we have had to ask that they give us that report separately. So on economic transformation, the Commission engaged on a plethora of issues and took a specific resolution on the issue of under constitutional discussions. Can we have the minimization of noise, comrades? Comrades who are coming from the bathrooms, can you come back silently? So there was also engagement in this commission, comrades, on the issue of a resolution on one uniform term of office. as a principle. The commission also spoke to, in other words, they are saying that the proposal made to differentiate the terms of office according to structures, in the view of this commission, is not correct, and that we must have one, which is a 5-year term for all structures from region, from rather national, province, region, and of course the sub-regions. The commission discussed the issue of branch structures, ward-based versus VD-based, and specifically said that we observe that our current branch structure with a mixture of VD-based and ward-based branches has in some cases led to overlaps and confusion and difficulty in managing responsibilities. And the commission said that to ensure clarity and proper functioning, we propose that the branch level organization be structured. The commission proposed that in provinces or areas where it is appropriate, branches should be organized on ward-based basis and otherwise structured flexibly to suit local contributions, where existing VD branches shall remain under their boundaries, and reporting lines must be clearly defined to avoid conflicts. The commission spoke to the issue of a resolution on clarifying the role of the third president, and said that we recognize that the position of third president within Mayibuye, currently held by comrades such as Comrade Mahlaba, does not have a clearly defined mandate in our constitution and rules, that this ambiguity undermines accountability and may lead to overlapping duties. The commission therefore proposes that the role of the third president be clearly defined with responsibility for disciplinary matters within the organization, and that all duties, limits, and reporting lines should be agreed and documented. The commission spoke to the resolution on official national name of the movement. The commission said that for the sake of unity, clarity, and legal recognition and outward identity, they propose that at this conference, which is a convention, we formally adopt and ratify a single official national name for the Mayibuye national officials, the name that was proposed of a Politburo in terms of the formulation that Comrade Tumelo gave. The commission spoke to the issue of separation of political leadership and operational management. The commission also spoke to the issue of establishing a permanent working committee for day-to-day operations. You'll note, comrades, that these resolutions, of course, commission by commission, are not the same, which is a plenary matter in terms of what we are deciding. On this specific commission, there was a specific proposal made that we observed that the Mayibuye lacks a clearly defined body responsible for the daily operations, coordination, follow-ups, and implementation of decisions. This leads to delays and inefficiency. Therefore, we propose the creation of a working committee that will handle day-to-day operations and coordinate between departments and leadership structures, implement decisions of the Politburo, and ensure continuity of work between major meetings. On the issue of establishing a worker desk for labor and worker community, the commission says we recognize that many of our members are workers, formal, informal, EPWP laborers whose needs and concerns are not sufficiently represented in the current structure. So to address this gap, we propose establishing a workers desk as a recognized unit within Mayibuye. This desk will operate with national, regional, and sub-regional levels, focusing on worker rights, organizing workers' advocacy, and linking with broader Mayibuye programs. So you would note, comrades, that this is different from what the other commissions were saying. So we can lift it as a plenary issue to resolve on what seems to be the consensus perspective. So on the issue of membership size and sustainable membership modeling, the commission resolved on the following, that we acknowledge that having very large branch membership, which is for example, 200 members per branch, makes active participation, decision-making, and daily functioning difficult. Meetings may struggle to reach quorum. And as they were discussing this, Comrade President, I was moving through the commissions and I had the motivation here to say, in all these other organizations that exist in South Africa, there are no real branches. And the reason why there are no real branches is that they've got this high quorum. And in all the conferences that they have, they are forced to rig because they are unable to attract members. And therefore, the proposal here is that we need to take the expectation on membership down. And therefore, we propose adopting a sustainable membership model to keep a core active membership. For example, about 50 members per branch for regular governance and meetings, and maintain a broader pool of volunteers or supporters on a membership database to assist during elections, campaigns, or special mobilizations. This balance allows branches to remain manageable, active, and responsive. I am just a messenger. Blame me not for the message. A resolution of branch membership size, resolution on formal procedure for reshuffling, reconstitution committee and officers. The Commission spoke about formalizing of restructuring procedures for committees and offices, and specifically proposed that the Constitution or internal rules be amended to include a formal procedure for initiating, discussing, and approving restructuring and reshuffles, including who can propose how the discussion happens. What is key here is that this will have to be taken on a majoritarian basis. Resolution on meetings, frequency thereof. The Commission spoke about the need to improve participation and inclusivity, and therefore proposed that reducing the number of mandatory physical meetings and institutionalizing the option of virtual meetings, especially for national, provincial, or interprovincial structures. And that meeting schedules should balance accountability, participation, and practicality. Rules regarding quorum, attendance, and decision-making in virtual meetings should be defined. The Commission spoke to a resolution on simplifying top leadership, limiting number of presidents. The Commission went further and spoke to matters regarding the policy around economic sovereignty and industrialization. On the issue of local economic protection and ownership, the Commission spoke to the fact that the state must protect local economies by reserving simple entry-level economic activities for South Africans, including local retail, spaza shops, and small-scale activities. Local economies, they resolve that local economies must be reserved for local people through bylaws, licensing, restrictions, and compliance monitoring, and that foreign nationals should not dominate small local markets. The Commission spoke to the issue of industrialization, rural economies, and SME development, and specifically resolved that industrialization of key sectors to grow rural township economies supported by tax incentives and tax holidays, targeted industrial infrastructure, and so forth and stuff like that. Promote SMMEs, cooperatives, village banks, and township banks, ensuring that they serve as a backbone of localized economic growth. Oppose the franchising and mall-driven remodeling of township and rural areas which kill SMMEs. Promote local food manufacturing and retail supply chains instead. The Commission spoke to agriculture, land and mineral resources, and specifically spoke about land expropriation without compensation to accelerate redistribution. The Commission spoke about the need to fast-track access to mineral, water, and land use licenses for black producers. The Commission spoke about supporting small-scale farmers with access to funds, market access, protection from dominance by large companies. I will not mention the one that they mention here. Financial sector transformation. They spoke about the need to transform SARB, financial institutions, and the insurance sector currently dominated by white interests. The Commission spoke to the support of the need to support development of cooperative banks, burial societies, and stokvels, ensuring that the money circulating in black communities remains within the black financial system, which is in kilter with what the President was talking about regarding issues of black economic solidarity in our rural areas and townships. On the issue of employment, comrades, procurement and economic equity, the Commission spoke about the need to create a national labor desk. The Commission also had a discussion on macroeconomic transformation, and they specifically said that poverty is a policy choice and that national treasury must be transformed to adopt a developmental and global south aligned policy framework. The Commission spoke to issues of social transformation and human development. The Commission agreed that we should resolve that we need to establish a Black Poverty Commission to study, monitor, and address the structural drivers of poverty in black communities, in line with what the President has proposed. Prioritize support for marginalized communities, rural areas, informal settlements, and those excluded from mainstream development. The Commission spoke on issues of education and skills development, and specifically recommended that procurement-linked funding for university students to expand access to higher education. The Commission spoke about partnering with countries like China and other progressive nations for training, skills transfer, and industrial exposure. The Commission further spoke about community-based development and specifically lifted the issue of promoting NPOs and community-based organizations, which are VD-based, to support skills development, organizational management, compliance, and access to funding. The Commission also reflected on issues of infrastructure and service delivery, and specifically spoke to issues of mass investment. The Commission also spoke about urban management and informal settlements, and lifted the issue of addressing informal settlements through coordinated housing development, land planning, and infrastructure. The Commission spoke to the issue of bylaws that must be regulated. The Commission also spoke about anti-corruption units and the fact that they must be established in each department of government to enforce bylaws and stop illegal business operations. The Commission spoke about township and rural planning, and specifically lifted a resolution that says we need to reject the remodeling of townships through large malls and franchise structures that marginalize local businesses. I think this is a repetition. This Commission also spoke about developing local supply chains for food, retail, and household goods. The Commission spoke at length about issues of government, justice, and security, and came to the conclusion that they need to propose to plenary the need to strengthen the fight against GBV through the deployment of legally trained personnel of local clinics, which they call Mayibuye legal people. I think that's a new formulation. The Commission spoke about migration, management, and compliance, and specifically lifted a resolution that talks to reducing migration pressures by growing local economies and creating jobs for locals. The Commission also reflected on issues of international relations and spoke to the issue of global partnerships and emphasized the fact that we need to enhance partnerships with countries like China and broadly countries in the global south that are progressive, and lifted the issue of extrapolating out of those relationships issues of industrial training, technology transfer, skills development, and infrastructures report. The Commission spoke to the issue of economic diplomacy, comrades, and lifted a specific proposal that says we need to promote investment partnerships aligned with local industrialization, agriculture and agro-processing, mining and mineral beneficiation. The Commission spoke on the need for ensuring that international relations support the development of a black-driven economy, sovereignty and protection of natural industries. So that is what has come out of the commissions. At this point, I'm moving towards conclusion to tie everything up. And the key point that must be made there is that all the commissions spoke, Comrade President, to the issue of the Constitution. They spoke to the notes we gave them around what each commission must discuss, and then lastly they reflected on their views on the basic policy document. So the idea, therefore, is then to tie everything together and say that we will then take the comments that were made on the basic policy document to go and refine it so that it becomes a document that is a product of the National Convention. And that we separate that from the discussion. And the proposal is that perhaps what we must then reflect on would be the other substantive proposals that were made on the first two areas in the terms of reference, which is the Constitution and specifically the issue of the framework that was given as the guiding notes for these commissions. At this point, comrades, I think this is where the report ends. Who left, who right? Yamasan. Who left, who right? Yamasan. Kules, kita, killer man. Things were moving in Africa. Siveswe umdweb, ngokuthengisa. Siveswe umdweb, ngokuthanda imali. Revolution, solution, insurrection, direction. Tsela ibulegi, topography. Indlela imayiniwe, aerial space. Kirlasha ispam, ungadlala. Kirlasha ispam, sisempini. DD33, tokarefi. Short makichi, makarofu. TSHK, Chinese made. AK-47 in 12. AK-47 in 12. Isoni sipa sakrisan. Isoni sipa samlukwan. Baramarumo basicha. Guerrilla heroes everywhere. Guerrilla heroes everywhere. Omnipresent. Bakalo. Ngapa na ngapa thola bona. Kiribata bata. Mabuto. Kiribata bata. Sabkonto. Michael Jackson. Anangon. Eshai moonwalk. Sikichi. Margaret Thatcher. Begaloy. Queen Elizabeth. Besimzon. Imperialism. Program like. Colonialism, project like Tina Singaban, Bagashbam, Tina Singaban, Bagashbam. Who left, who right? Yamasan. Kules Kita, Killer Man. Kwame Nkuru, ideologue. Malimo Nyerer, Uchama, Tina Simasoch, Gashibam. Kirrealism, Yamasan, Mayibuye Afrika, Islangan, Mayibuye Afrika, Ibumban. Attention!
Thank you very much. First, Deputy President of Afrika Mayibuye Movement, for a detailed report of all the commissions. Comrades, I'm going to request that we stick on time. This is the last day of the convention. I'm going to take hands, but I'm going to request that you adhere to the 2 minutes rule. Let us not fight over time. 2 minutes. But we are taking hands on additions on the commissions only. And then issues of the Constitution, we will deal with them after a detailed report back of the Constitution. So when we rise, let's stick on the Commission's reports. Are we together, comrades? Thank you. Mayibuye! Afrika! Mayibuye! Afrika! I'm going to request that we be assisted with the roving mics. How many mics do we have on the floor? I'm counting 1. Where's the other mic? Yes. There are standing mics here. And there's another roving mic there. Can I note hands here, comrades? I'm noting hands this side, right? Number 1, number 2 on a cap, number 3 here. Let's move towards the microphone. I've noted 3 hands this side. Let's move towards the microphone. Yes, let's come. No, let's move to the microphone. This microphone. Over to you, comrades. Yes, let's line up here, comrades. Just hold on. I've noted 3 hands here. Come, comrades, to this microphone. Thank you. Over to you, comrade.
Thank you very much, Comrade Chair. I just want to speak on one item that I think that's omitted. From
The name, the surname, the province you're coming from, and the region you're representing.
I'm from Limpopo, Capricorn region. My name is James Monk. I'm from Polokwane, Ward 21. Without much ado, Chair, I just want to speak on the aspect of economic transformation. One, on the issue of reaffirming and confirming that as a socialist movement, we want to move for progressive tax system as a policy that will then guide and reaffirm our position. It's an aspect which I think it's omitted from the report. And also deal with the issues of ensuring that both the issue of the Reserve Bank to be nationalized, because it's something that is funding expression, but it has to be emphasized and be confirmed as per the Commission discussion. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. Comrades, I'm missing 2 other comrades. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, comrade. My name is Comrade Walker from Gauteng, West Rand, chairperson of Mohale sub-region. My point is regard to 2 points that were raised yesterday. We'd like to have a further clarity in terms of the digital defense battalion policy, together with the policy on digital currency and blockchain policy, that will be able to assist Mayibuye in terms of fundraising, rather than us going out there and getting fundraising or getting support or getting monies from those who are totally opposite to our principles, opposite to our policies. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, comrades. Let's stick to the time.
I'm Tamsan Naskele from Ward 27, Machabeli Jolipuzo District Municipality, Free State Province. Mine is on the financial model for municipalities. In the commission, it's captured that local municipalities should be given sufficient funding and resources to expedite their service delivery challenges. But I want to input that specifically, let it be specific, that the Division of Revenue Act, which appropriates and allocates resources to municipalities in its current form, will not assist our municipalities, because currently it allocates only 9% of the total revenue appropriation to municipalities. And the rest from the 9% goes to provinces and national. So specifically, I want it to be explicit that it be reviewed so that it empowers, it legislates that majority of funding, the bulk of funding goes to where the deputy chairperson has talked to, the call service of service delivery. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We are here now. We are doing very well in terms of respecting the 2 minutes. We are here. Can I note hands? I'm noting number 1, number 2, number 3, 4. Let's walk towards the mic, comrades. Let's start with you, comrade. This microphone here. You can walk towards this one as well. Thank you very much. Name, surname, where you coming from?
Mayibuye. Mayibuye.
Africa.
Africa. I want to speak my language. I can't talk another language. I want to speak
Let us be comfortable in speaking our own languages, comrades.
Yeah.
Yes.
Minjani Queen. Yeah, my name is Ebitra Mina Haris, ne? I love to come again Luma language Tingwanyan. Good language Jamina is stronger. Yeah. So, listen, need tell us Bolabla na Montaner.
What is your name and where you coming from?
Ebitra Mina Haris, Mangai. No more 27 Deep Kloof. So, the China Labaku Shibalabla Namunta Kai winning Gataba Kai Rangela like a Mayibuye. Labalishing at Tabak she and Shibantis. And I end the shield Jika Jika. Ilabashi, Lushiban straight and Astobakuri. Punabanyan Batakuba Ashtuluin, but Jelakuru, Bonabata. I would time in what Tamela a Dimagatakuba, Nabatella Mali. Logumwam Fikina Stulin Fikelani Timakatakuri. When I mean Mela Nsungu, Tiku, Menga Emelu win and a familiar win. Majusis. Number 2, Leshim Fanes one, Fananas one, Unabano got the word Labang, a register for Filati form. Lokuka Filisati form, Mobalabana skipper and the plus keeper. I na chance ya kona ku school. Lokuka Ebola staff figure, and I still staff figure, but Bataka mina liar. Bagus skipper. But you say, same as in the Zamazamana and a small Kubakota in Nasus one. Kunaban says Balabagus skipper again. But you say, Ntenavan of Futila, Balabagus skip.
Thank you very much, comrade. Thank you, comrades. Let us be orderly. Let us be orderly. Let us stick to the topic of the reports on commission. Anything that has been omitted, comrades, let's do those additions.
Thank you very much. I apologize about my voice. Clearly we've been singing.
2 minutes.
Thank you very much. My name is Nico Progress Mpangane, Dr. KK Region, JB Max Municipality, Ward 17. I want to comment on the point of local government in action. I think the SG yesterday might have forgotten this one of communication as a separate component, because for us to win the elections, we need communication, because communication is not only the spokesperson. Communication needs to have different components. So my submission is that let us also have communication in our local government so that we can be able to populate the message, same as today. So if we don't have communication, I think we're going to struggle there and there. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mayibuye.
Thank you very much. This is Romeo Machila from Northwest JB Max, Ward 14. On the issue, I don't know this one, if it falls under social transformation or infrastructure, but let me speak to number 3. the informal settlement should be adopted by this organization because they are now a forgotten settlement. There are no RDPs that are no longer given to informal settlement. They are forgotten. We've got informal settlement, we've got sheikhs. It's a problem. So I propose that we have a special budget when we get to local government. We have a special budget that focuses on informal settlement and we deliver to their needs. Not only go to them when we need votes, let us start now. In fact, immediately they must be put under a social program that we have as an organization. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Over to you, comrade. No, we're not there yet. He comes from this row. Let us proceed.
Thank you very much. My name is Kenneth Siatelo from Gauteng, Johannesburg region, sub-region B, Ward 82. I want to comment on economic transformation. I want to add a point, perhaps propose it.
Let's speak to the microphone.
On economic justice. I would propose to the Commission that we should also consider the issue of reparation to achieve economic justice, because when we talk about economic transformation, we should not start it from here and want to move forward. So much injustices were committed in the past, and I think we need to go back to those perpetrators to make sure that they pay back each and every single thing that they ever expropriated from us. That's one point. Quickly, Comrade Chair, on this one, I think I will seek clarity because I raised it yesterday on the commission, but today it was presented the same way again. So allow me to just raise it again. I think there are contradictions between when you talk about nationalization of the mines and all natural resources. I think Mayibuye is very clear on that one. But while we are still listening, I heard one leader talking also about supporting small-scale miners and also issuing licensing to black people, those who want to participate in the water economy. So I seek clarity on that. How are we going to have marriage between supporting of small-scale miners and nationalization of the mines and all natural resources? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We are here now. Can I note hands on this one? Can I note, wait, comrade. Let us note hands. The Eastern Cape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let us make it clear, comrades, yes, that we are only on the issue of the commissions. Additions, we are a solution-orientated organization. Therefore, when you are sent to the mic, it can not only be questions, but let us provide a solution. Let us walk towards the microphones, comrades that I've noted. You can start, comrade.
Thank you very much.
Name and surname and where you're coming from.
I'm Chipiwa Mdrebe. I'm from Lipopo, Membe, Tulamela, Ward 35. Thank you. I think we need to end this discrimination based on the services that are accorded according to title deeds and PTO. It seems to find ourselves under the chiefs. It's like an insult because you face a lot of discrimination in terms of funding, in terms of loans, and all the things. I think Mayibuye must deal with that to make sure that that kind of things must just stop. Whether you are from rural, you are from urban, as long as you are South African, there must be no discrimination based on that. It is an insult to our king. Thank you. The second point that I want to raise, it is the issue of assessment of municipalities on service delivery. Currently, the municipalities are assessed upon based on what basis? But you'll find it's not based on village basis. But if they make a tie road that passes there, is that what they have provided service? But it must be based on village basis or based on that particular area in the location. It must not be based on what the basis, because it's so deceiving and it's like a fraud. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let us stick to the 2 minutes.
No, thank you very much, National Chair. My name is Posengo Sigwavu. I come from the Eastern Cape in Amatole, in Ushwa, in Ward 8. No, just a quick one, National Chair. In one of the commissions, it indicated that VD branches should be removed. I think that we should have VD branches, because that's how we establish presence in each and every area of the membership. One thing that I could say is that maybe there must be a proportional membership. So if there's a big VD with a higher number of voters, then the membership required there might be higher. Then if there's a smaller VD, we can have a proportional membership which would be lower, rather than just not having VD branches at all. And the reduction of membership as well, National Chair, I don't think that is wise, because history has proven that the number of membership that you'd have in a ward would most likely equal the number of voters that would vote in that ward. So I don't think that we should reduce the membership. It should remain at 200. Thank you, National Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Ikamalam Kupumla Gazweni, Suga Eastern Cape, Ematole region. I want to add, Comrade Chair, on the local commissioner. At local commissioner, there are things that are not happening within the municipalities on monitoring and evaluation in terms of industrial zones. That is why we have a lot of informal settlement in places that were not supposed to be. Those are very key principles of economic transformation within our local sphere. So if, as in Mayibuye, we are able to monitor those places and guide our people accordingly, not to just to sit on places of economic transformation for development in 12 economic sectors, that will assist them on skills development and other issues that are there within our municipality. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Let's proceed.
My name is Right. My surname is Funane. I'm from Amatole.
Let's speak to the microphone, Comrade Funani.
My name is Right. My surname is Funane. I'm coming from Amatole in Mnuma, Ward 4. I'm going to be straight on the economic transformation, especially on the working class. The first thing that we need to do as Afrika Mayibuye to bring a change to the workers in South Africa, we need not to leave the private sector to do whatever they want, because presently all those who are working in private sector, they will tell you that there's a difference entry level from blacks, coloreds, Indians and whites. So Afrika Mayibuye must focus on that to ensure that everyone that is in the working environment, especially in private sector, is taken care of, and there are processes and procedures that are followed, especially based on race. The second one, especially on transformation as well, labor brokers. Labor brokers are one of the things that is really killing South Africa, which is we really need to make sure that most of the people who are labor brokers, they don't benefit on anything. Afrika Mayibuye must not talk about them, but it must abolish them so that people can get the money, or they must get the salaries and security on their jobs. Thank you, comrades. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chairperson. My name is Judith Nomatamsangangumalo from Gauteng, Johannesburg region, sub-region E, Ward 81. Mine is just going to pull out on the various commissions because they are interrelated. I would like the technocrats that are here with us here to hit the ground running, singayenzi rhetoric, because our battle cry is total freedom now and emancipation now. Mine is just to say, because we know there are people that are here now as we speak, they are not at work in terms of remuneration, but they are at work in terms of the organization to make sure we deliver and see it to be a real organization. So I would love the technocrats to assist in terms of the full-time staff that is mentioned in one of the commission, that it must exist to work and make sure that those that are not belonging to some institution in terms of work, they must belong to Mayibuye. It must have an institution kind of phrase. It must take a form of its institution. It must not leave the movement form, but we must have in it an institutionalized kind of mechanism so that our people, our volunteers who are here, even if they are called anytime to Mayibuye activities, they must feel that they are doing it for themselves. They must benefit in terms of pay, salaries, in small scale farmers. They must do it for the Mayibuye. Additional people, they can benefit, but we must start benefiting here, doing things for ourselves in terms of those that are able to assist those that are not able to.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. That is the overarching.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Quentin Matlakala from Tswane. I'm a Secretary General of the Afrika Mayibuye movement for women. Afrika Mayibuye women.
2 minutes.
Thank you, Chair. In terms of the constitution, since we have proposed the 7-year term, I would like to propose that we need to have the disciplinary head or disciplinary provision that will outline the procedures and the dispute resolution that we could help to run the organization with mutual interest or understanding. Secondly, in terms of the policy issues, through you, Chair, the DP heads of policy, maybe to make reference to NETLEC, policies that are amended at NETLEC, there are current policies that you can perhaps to do research on them and then try to, align ourselves with the national issues that affects the country itself. Let me just make an example of just one policy that I may think of is climate change. Second one, it could be a digital skills for that matter. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much.
Mayibuye, Africa. Thank you, Chair. My name is Chumakua. I'm from Mpumalanga Province, under Bushabela region, from Ward 3 in sub-region of Tabachwewu. I'm the national youth spokesperson of the youth movement. I have a proposal, Chair. The proposal that I have, I think we all know that majority of young people, they do not have the idea or the experience of registering businesses. So my proposal is that can Mayibuye implement business information hubs or business registration units where young people will be able to come and register companies. We will not only register the company, but we will help in doing business profile, business plan, the logo, and also help you to apply for funding. As much as young people can get funding in different institutions, the more we'll be able to eradicate the issue of black poverty. Thank you, my Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. My name is Muyeti Kos Msimanga. I'm from Free State, Tabumfutsanyana district, and sub-region Yamaluti, Ward 13. I'm the chairperson of Tabumfutsanyana region. I wanted to make this few contribution to the commissions, especially the one that talk about fundraiser revolution or fundraising for the revolutioner, and also for economic development or transformation. I've got 3 points that are maybe interrelated to both two commissions. The first one is the role of current business sectors in our area. How do we influence or also maybe develop the current or existing the business sector in our area so that we enhance the cohesion? Number two is the issue of mechanization or development in terms of technology. How do we use the technology in terms of manufacturing and also the processing especially in the issues of agriculture and also agri-processing, so that we ensure local produce and local supply from our side. I heard the president talks about the links with China, which I think can play a major role in terms of mechanization and also technology. The last point is this one of, as we continue to make developments and also continue on doing different methods of fundraising and economic upliftment, the Reserve Bank seems to be curtailing the development of a black child somewhere, because sometimes when they see 1 million rand in your bank, they say money laundering. So how are we gonna maybe search on those policies or somewhere, the policies that can influence the Reserve Bank is curtailing our progress somehow? Thank you.
Thank you. Let's stick to the 2 minutes.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Temelani Mbete and I'm from Region 4 in Swane, Gauteng.
Just hold on. There were only 4 comrades there. I don't know why is the queue increasing there. Let's stick to the 2 minutes.
Okay, thank you, Chair. I'm just going to touch base on the issue of township economy, because we know that we have 523 townships in South Africa, but we don't control the township economy. So we have the likes of let me just use the word called Charlie, or maybe the African brothers, like normally we call them Abu Charlie. So they've taken over our townships in terms of controlling, and they're not adding value in terms of giving back to our community. My question is, how is Mayibuye going to assist those small business people just to take over the control of our township economy? The second question is, we do have minerals like in South Africa, but we also don't control them. Normally, let's say, for example, we do have like your golds and your diamonds, but then we don't refine them. We just export them and then they sold them back to us with a higher price. So how are we going to maybe also take control over them?
Thank you very much. Comrades, we need to come up with proposals, not questions. Let's give solutions. Over to you, comrade, 2 minutes.
Thank you very much, Chair. My name is Tebogo Bogosi, Northwest PCT member, Dr. Rutsi Khomutsi Mompati region, Kagisano Molopo sub-region, Ward 11, Hamunchunyani village. Chair, I want to speak to the local government commission. Point number 1 is that we need to have a policy on lifestyle, particularly at the level of political members at the local municipality. Not as something that will be requested as and when it is necessary, but we need to have a policy to deal with the question of councillors who are corrupt at the level of a municipality. That's point number 1. Number 2, Chair, we need to find a way in order to manage the demarcation board. Currently, Chair, we've got members of ANC only at those local, demarcation boards. We need to find a way as to whether we can find independent, capable individuals who can manage that particular institution, so that there is fairness in terms of allocating wards and so on. There is a challenge of wards in municipalities when it comes to service delivery. Thirdly, Chair, local government is the government nearest to the people. But when you look at how it deals with land restitution, it is nowhere part of that particular process. For an example, when you make a claim of a particular land, you go to the person who signs at local municipality level is the chief of that particular area. And then from there, it jumps the local municipality, it goes to province. And I think there is something that needs to be done in order for the government closer to the people to can take part in that particular process. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's stick to the 2 minutes rule, comrades.
Chairperson, Vitoramina Ibonwa is Mafumo from Limpopo.
Let's speak to the microphone.
Vitoramina Ibonwa is Mafumo from Limpopo. Bembe. Mabambe, what the 20 under Kunis Chabani municipality. So, Chairperson, my point is want to start on the issue of membership. We're an organization because we have members. And we can't be an organization which we reduce ourselves to be an organization of 50 members per branch. We did consultation processes and people agreed across the country to say, wow, are available to come and affiliate with the movement. So at least, Chairperson, 100 membership we can do so that we don't have an issue of having 200 members or 250 membership and those people don't come to the venue during meetings as it was raised by the commission. But then also, one of the issues, it must be that there must be special branches such as where institutions of higher learning are located. Those branches, the membership can be stretched maybe to 150, because also the people also in that particular region, they are men, or that particular place, they are men. Another thing, Chairperson, is to charge on the issue of youth. We are speaking about the unemployment youth and unemployable youth as a country. It's a problem to say, currently here, when we are going to local government election, we must be having people, not to be disrespectful or otherwise, we can't be having people who are 80 years old, 90 years old, contesting, unless otherwise if they are having particular skills, former principals, former members who are serving in particular position, at least those people who can then be able to say they can be able to lead, but then we must have an age cap to say in this movement, regionally, who are serving in the municipality or the likes, they must be having a particular age, there must be a particular age limit so that we can be able, because my grandmother at home there, she can't be able to come with policies. I know my grandmother. What she knows is to speak about
Time up.
members. Thank you.
Over to you, comrades. Your 2 minutes has started.
Afternoon, Chair. Mine is simple, Chairman. I'm Pumelelo Kabane from Gauteng, sub-region D. Mine is simple, Chair. As ex-convict, I'm speaking behalf of ex-convicts. There's no political party that welcome ex-convicts, National Chair. So I would humble request that as a Mayibuye, please welcome us on board as ex-convicts so that we also participate in the economy. There's no one here who is not affected. Family home, there's an ex-convict. And those people, we have skills, we are educated from prison, but we go out of prison, we can't even find jobs here. But we have the skill. So mine is simple that as Mayibuye, please recognize us as ex-convicts. Khawulile, asijike.
Thank you very much. The second last.
My name is Sibusiso Mhlanga from Mpumalanga, Ehlanzeni Nkomazi sub-region, the incoming speaker on the municipality under Mayibuye. Pata Mayibuye, Pata. Comrades, yesterday we had a very great session with the SG. I will dwell much on 2 items. The first one will be the local government. Comrades, the only thing, all of us that we can do under this roof is to make sure that when we take power, we scrap the tenders. We allowed the government to hire the unemployment youth the unemployed youth, give them a certain period of 6 to 12 months and train them. If they need to train them under construction, so be it. Grass cutting, so be it. So that we avoid a situation whereby a municipality that receives 70 million per annum, they take almost 50 million to tendership. That is the first thing that we need to do. The second one that we need to do away and get into the policies is to make sure that all of us working for Mayibuye, we protect this baby. As young as it is, we protect it. In all across South Africa, I think all of us here, we in South Africa from all the provinces. Wherever you are placed under a sub-region, region, provincial to national, whichever position you occupy, please work with integrity and protect this baby.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you.
I would like to greet you, Chairperson. Thank you very much. This is Bongosi Ngosi, mentor as known, from Mpumalanga Province, Gatsibande, at Tipaliseng, Balfour Siatemba. I want to have two submissions, which are part of the solution. Number one, everything has been said. The senior office is in front of me as I'm looking at it. Yet, every problem and every aspect of input is at the floor, where the office is not there. We cannot have an office at the upper level where we know where it is, yet we do not have our local offices, meaning the constituencies. So now, this is the solution. Where our communities are going to relay their own issues that they're faced with, they must find a building or a door where they can enter, number one. Not via our cell phones, not via our WhatsApps. What if the electricity is not there? My battery is flat. That means I'm failing my own community. It is stolen, it is broken. Yet I'm an office bearer of a particular office. So,
thank you.
Thank you. We have to provide such kind of facilities for constituencies in our localities. And all of us can do that by providing what we have. An empty room can be an office, and so on and so forth. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, comrades and all leaders, for your valuable contributions on the aspect of commissions. I'm now handing over to the First Deputy President to round up the sessions on commissions. Comrade Tato Amahohodi.
Good afternoon once more, comrades. The first thing I must confirm is that I'm happy there are comrades who spoke in their languages. Comrade President is teaching me Tsonga. So, comrades, he's going to clarify me better about those inputs. But what I can confirm is that Mohloti wa tinyarete we here. Hambi o fambeng kuveni lo ntareta bonaka. Comrade Chair, I think we can agree that we have had the inputs. And the issue of the consolidation team is to go back and incorporate these inputs according to their various compartments. In other words, the comments that are related to the Constitution will be compartmentalized under that. The comments that are related to the policy, basic policy document, will be incorporated under that. So that we do not get into a debate about who said what and who does not agree with what. So my proposal is that we agree towards adopting the report and agreeing that it will be adopted with those inputs taken into account. Alive to the fact that we would have to ensure that we reconcile everything and make sure that we are able to deal with the contradictions in terms of the submissions in kilter with the basic policy documents that are in line with the Restoration Manifesto and the principles that appear in our Constitution. That is my submission. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, First Deputy President of Afrika Mayibuye Movement, Comrade Tatwa Mahohodi, for the sterling job last night. It clearly shows that we came here as a collective of Afrika Mayibuye from all 9 provinces, disciplined. We have seen how the commissions were well represented and deliberations were going on. Let's give each other a round of applause. I'm now going to note hands to adopt this report with all the amendment made. I'm going to note the hands this side and this side. There's a hand there. Here's a microphone. Let's assist each other there. Walk to the microphone, the hand that I've recognized. Please walk to the microphone. I've recognized the hand this side. Where's the hand? Let's walk to the microphone. The name, surname, where we come from, and then our proposer.
I'm Tamsan Naskele from Ward 27, Machabeng, Lejoleputswa region, Free State. I rise to forward the proposition for the adoption of the resolutions of this first inaugural National Convention of Afrika Mayibuye.
Thank you very much. The Free State. Over to you, comrade.
My name is Comrade Clement Matthews from Randwest, Gauteng province. Sub-region Randwest, Ward 8. I move and second the proposal.
Thank you very much. The Free State moved for the adoption of all these commissions' report with amendment made. Gauteng second. Therefore, this report is duly adopted. Thank you very much. I'm now going to call upon Comrade Tumelo Mlangeni, the head of political education within the Afrika Mayibuye movement, to come and give a summary of the work done in respect of the Afrika Mayibuye Constitution. Comrade Tumelo.
Amandla, Matla, Manda, Matima. Comrades, I'm not going to take long, but then just to summarize the submissions that were made in as far as the constitutional proposals were made yesterday. All in all, there were 27 submissions, and these submissions exclude a proposal or a resolution if we adopt these particular changes on the establishment of a trade union that will be aligned to worker interests. But then the first point that was raised in all commissions is that there should be ahead of elections on a full-time basis. 2, that there should be, the movement itself should adopt expressly a legal personality that could be sued and that could sue and be sued, that we should reaffirm the principle of democratic centralism. It should become very common in our organization. It should be expressed in every way, in everything that we do. That the Constitution should be accessible in all the languages, that we should establish a Politburo, that the leadership structure is proposed with 3 deputy presidents should be reaffirmed, and the responsibilities that were proposed yesterday be included, that a co-option clause should be inserted in between the appointments of the structures, that membership, the following clause shall be inserted. Membership of the Afrika Mayibuye movement is voluntary. Members confirm upon joining and annually thereafter that they are not members or active associate of any other political organizations. So basically, this is a clause that deals with dual membership. We are well aware of the technicalities of dual membership, comrades, and that some of you might have signed up on a longer term in organizations that you come from, so you could actually still appear on their membership database whilst you appear here. So that is basically unconscious dual membership. Respect for leadership, that we should replace the phrase respect decisions of elected leadership with respect decisions of leadership. That our character should be one of a permanent consultative movement. So what we started with, we should continue in consultation of all our constituencies. The issue of the term of office was clarified and reaffirmed as proposed. The initial for the national leadership will be 7 years, and then going forward it will be 5 years. And as proposed also at a provincial, regional, and sub-regional level, ward and VD level, we are going to include that in terms of the terms of office. Uniform, non-renewable term of office, it speaks to the proposal number 11. Branch membership threshold, it was proposed that it should be 50. That ward-based structures with will have flexibility where practically possible. That there should be signage and subordination between structures and electoral terms. That the quorum and meeting requirements must be cleared out in the constitution. So there is no proposal from the commission, but then the commissions are suggesting that we should be more clearer on the issue of quorum and meeting requirements. That we should also clear up and spell out clearly what is the appointment authority in line with deliberate democracy, which we have adopted and fully expressed in the Restoration Manifesto. That the financial controls should be clear. In fact, the Commission on Finances suggested that the signatories at national level should be the Treasurer General, the fundraiser, the President, or any of the Deputy Presidents that is delegated by the President. That at a provincial level, it should be the Provincial Treasurer, Provincial Secretary, the Treasurer General. At regional level, it should be the Regional Treasurer, Regional Secretary, and the Provincial Treasurer. So it cascades as such that basically it should be the Chairperson, the Secretary, and the Treasurer. All those will be responsible as signatories of our bank accounts. The separation of political leadership and administrative roles should be clear. So basically what the commissions were suggesting is that they affirm the proposal of having a Politburo in between the officials and the national core team. So the Politburo will then be affirmed. And it speaks also to the next item on the 21, which also suggests the establishment of the National Working Committee. So basically, a National Working Committee is a synonym of a Politburo, which will be tasked with running the daily affairs of the organization. Also, the clarification and streamlining of the presidential portfolios was suggested. So meaning that we should give more substance into the responsibilities of each of the deputy presidents. That we should establish a workers' desk. This then dovetails with the call for the establishment of a trade union And then the modalities will then be applied to by the National Working Committee or the Politburo. The meeting frequency and mode should be clarified. Formal procedures of reshuffling should be clarified, and it should also be transparent. The membership, the issue of membership being open to the to Africans and those of African ancestry and those in the diaspora was also requested that we should be able to make more clarity on that. In terms of removal of structures, now the suggestion was that the grounds, the removal of leadership from structures, I mean, that one, there should be grounds, and these grounds should either be incapacity or incompetence or misconduct or in the interest of the movement, including but not limited to matters related to political alignment, ideological consistency, and reputational harm. So those were the four grounds that were suggested, and that there should be stages. First, it should be initiated by establishing an initiation structure that will then facilitate the process, and there should be a notification of the comrade that would then be affected, and we should have a constitutional inquiry team that will facilitate hearing and make findings, and those particular findings should be submitted to that particular authority which the affected person will belong to, and then the hearing will be done, and notification will be done, and ratification will be done by the SG. Comrades, basically those were suggestions, and as I mentioned, these are over and above worker emancipation and trade union alignment deliberations that we have. At this point, Comrade Chair, because all commissions are covered in this particular submission, I don't think that, because it will really be tautology to again rehash what we've already discussed yesterday. So we will take these particular submissions, and then they will find expression in the constitution, but then Chair will direct in terms of adoption and so forth. Thank you very much. Amandla.
Thank you very much, Comrade Tumelo, Head of Political Education in Afrika Mayibuye Movement. I'm now handing over to the Secretary General, Comrade Lazola Ndamase, to make few reflections. SG.
Thank you very much, Chair. The Abulisa to all comrades. Comrades, I want to make a few comments here, comrades, on the draft proposals on the Constitution. There are a few issues that we shouldn't tinker too much with, comrades, ne? Shouldn't tamper too much with them because they are extremely important to the life of the organization, particularly at this very early stage. And one of those is with regards to the total number that each branch must have. Because the total number of members that each branch must have, if you tamper with it and take it below 200, it's going to impede the presence of the organization at such an early stage. You can't be worried about quorums and other things, comrades, so early in the organization. The most important thing is that the organization must have presence and must be able to be seen and felt in almost every corner of the country. Now, we've already been able to do it already. We have sub-regional structures. So with branches, we must be much more careful, comrades. Let's not tamper with that area. Even the area with VDs, let's not tamper with it, comrades. Otherwise, we will be limiting our organization terribly. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Comrade SG. Comrades, I'm going to take only 3 hands. 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and 2 minutes each. I've noted a hand there, the lady. Comrade lady, come to the microphone. The one hand here, come to the microphone. Whoever arrives, speak. I've noted the hand this side. Can you come forth to the microphone? There's a lady with the sunglasses on the forehead. That is a lady that I've noted. Only one. Yes, that is the hand that I've noted here. Only one. One. Okay. Briefly, 2 minutes.
Mandla, I want to express myself. Ke tlo bua ka language ya ka.
A re bue hore re tswa ko kae? Re bo mang?
My name is Lucia Kutama from Ekurhuleni Central Sub-Region, Ward 42. I'm an RCT member. I don't think we need to be worried about our membership because people are there. And kaofela rona re boletse but re lebetse batho ba important ba leng on drugs, our youth. So if we can help that youth gore ba boe ba phele e tlo ba baetapele ba rona ba kaosane. Ke thabela hore ko Mayibuye re na le medics. Ne ke na le kgopelo comrade president. Medics ya rona ha e etse plan. Everything e re tlo e dirang e ka se kgone gore e tswele pele because se ra sinkile youth ya rona sa ifa di drugs gore South Africa is ka tswela pele. Mayibuye, please bushang maphelo a bana ba rena. South Africa e kgone ho phela re bane le tsela o re ya kae. But at this present moment re ka bana le jona dilo mara bana ba rona ba di rekisha. Ba rona ba senya South Africa. Ba thuba di roboto ba etsa everything. A re starteng mo tshwantseng re thome teng. Then re na le South Africa e tswelang pele.
Ra leboga.
Thank you. Greetings to the leadership. All protocol observed. La Imega Alene. My name is Andrew Kanyi, commonly known as AK47. Wakusuka ka Malamlele, ka Usmados, what 23. Leshin lava kushikombela, it is that we need to know that people of South Africa are tired with what is happening. So we can't reduce the number of membership to 50. It will be laziness according to my view. Itaba ekhaelola akutira. Loko ela kufikelela kibono shaban ba Africa, ba South Africa in at large is to understand that people are tired. So when we sit and just thinking correct, only 50 people should be obtaining the structures and whatsoever. Itaba erna bulolo Xitsonga xiri loko banjana inkombe ipfimba xikosi.
Thank you very much.
Mayibuye, I could see that you did not, you actually did not point it at me, but...
Oh, I'm so sorry. Let's proceed, Mama.
Yes. I need to emphasize this because I've got a fact. Hence, I'm saying I come by force here, but a respectful force. As the incoming chairperson of this province,
Yes.
Mama, my name is Madi Maloka from Mamelodi, the capital city of Pretoria. I am from Gauteng and I'm from Pretoria, the capital city of Gauteng, and I'm also from Mamelodi, the capital city of Pretoria. I see all what is happening here and all what has been said by every leader around this arena today. But I just want to make a point here. Nothing. Mr. President, but I need to say one thing, Mr. President. The only weapon which is going to defeat all what has been said in this room is vote. It's a vote. If you don't have votes or if you don't have numbers at home and if you don't work the ground, you are not going to achieve. Otherwise, this conference will be declared null and void, according to me. Because we came here with a mission. Wait. I'm coming, go next door, let them give you 50 rand to go buy bread and milk. I'm here with a mission because hengadula go high. You won't get bread for the next coming 5 years. I need this man. I need this man to be the next coming president of South Africa. And then I've got the reason for that. I've got the reason and I've got the mission to say that. I had a dream. I was never recruited. I was recruited by my ancestors. I had a dream and they said to me, go to Mayibuye. I don't want to say a lot. I don't want to say much because most of us here won't understand where I come from and where am I going. I will just give a hint of saying, let us look after this man. He is definitely going to be the president of this country. Mayibuye. 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 This is the incoming chairperson of Gauteng province by force. Yabo mama. And I've got that character.
Thank you very much.
Lastly, chairperson, with due respect.
Thank you.
I've got that character. If you lead me and then you don't lead me, I'm going to lead you. If you fail to manage, if you fail to manage me as a leader, I've got a policy that will manage you. I don't want to say much, President. Thank you, Mr. President. We are looking after you.
Thank you.
And we'll pray hard for my dreams to become true.
Thank you. Thank you very much, comrades. You've got the agreed upon time of 2 minutes. Let's make our inputs.
Thank you, Chair of the session. I'm from Free State region, Lejuel Putswa, sub-region Machabing, Ward 4.
The name?
Is Joseph Pito, aka Mopeme. President, I just want to, I want to congratulate the work that you and your team are doing. I think you guys are going somewhere, and this what you have done needs to be congratulated early as this now. Now my point was here. I've got a challenge with the previous speaker who was speaking about the number of 50 and 200. I think 200 is very ambitious. We are going to a point whereby when we say 200, you are going to have a bogus members, and people are going to lie to you. You're going to go to the media and say, we are going to do this and this. When you come back, the votes down. I think we need to say, we need to have 3 categories of membership, where we say this is the membership, which is the quality, and the second one, which is the supporters, where there's 100 and 200, and it doesn't matter. And then we have a normal voters as fans, so that we may keep quality. Because you remember that when we are in the meeting, we deliberate and we debate. People, they lose interest, they go, they leave us there. So those who are activists and like to debate, they need to have that 50 members, and the other ones will be supporters and fans, just like soccer. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The last 2 hands this side. Yes, at the microphone, you can start.
Khotso leadership, Kalibitso ke Tlawanelo Diholo, Western Cape Province, Cape Metro Region, Zone 4, Ward 44. Comrade Chair, I just want to make 2 submissions. And one is toward the Constitution. Comrade Chair, there are people who are threatening us with resignations from leadership, and they are holding the organization hostage. I'd like to propose that in the Constitution, there must be, even if it's a clause or a line, that clearly states that anyone who threatens the organization with a resignation must be immediately removed, without any proper procedures being followed, because these people are taking us backward. Again, leadership, we must not be shy. Yes, we don't want to create a cult organization, but we can't have people who are not organizational, who are not disciplined, who don't have organizational discipline. There was someone who was working with the president there. Every time the camera goes to that person, the person is on the phone, but the president is busy speaking. We go to churches, some of us, and I can assure you, Pastor Zondo is here to attest. Every time a pastor speaks, you will never see us going up and down. But we are looking at you, national leadership there. Every time the president is speaking, some of you are going up and down, and that stage is too long. Some of you, we don't know where you are going. So I would like to plead, please, leadership, we need to have organizational discipline.
Thank you
We
very
will not
much.
go anywhere without discipline. Thank you.
Thank you. Over to you, comrade.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Igama uThembelani wakantuli owaziwa ngegama likaNkandla. Ngiqhamuka kwaZulu Natal ngaphansi kweregion iKing Cetshwayo region. Ward 4 eNkandla sub-region. Chairperson, ngizocela ukubingelela nje bonke abaholi, our national officials led by our president. Ngibingelela abaholi bazo zonke inhlaka ze-Afrika Mayibuye movement, women's, youth and students. Ngibingelele abaholi bendabuko kanye nababamandla kaNkulunkulu. Ngiyabonga. Chair, ngisacela can we have maybe an attention of the House to page 30 of our Constitution, the section that deals with affiliate membership? Leadership, I have noted that it says in a summary, we allow an affiliation membership to any organization or affiliation with a minimum of 300 members upward. I wish to state that that must remain. But going to page 39, under the composition of national core team, there was a clause which was already there, which deals with the representation of affiliate membership, but it was specific to a particular organization or a union. So leadership, I think we can, I submit that let's scrap that clause out from the Constitution and at least replace it with the clause that suggests that the representation of affiliate members in accordance with the guidelines adopted by the national officials. Two, leadership, I wish to also submit that that clause, if it appears there under the composition of the national officials, it should also appear under the provincial composition, provincial core team composition, regional composition, and sub-regional. Why? Because I want to propose that the minimum of 300 that is mentioned there of the members, and also the point that says in accordance with the guidelines, suggesting that the leadership will develop guidelines. I want to suggest that at least the leadership must look at the geographical spread and of that organization or the footprint. If it's a national, it has a national footprint.
As we conclude.
Yes, then it qualifies to sit in the national committee. If it's provincial, then it's based on based on the what you call the
Thank
number.
you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, comrades, for your valuable contribution on the aspects of the Constitution of Afrika Mayibuye movement. At this point in time, comrades, we are going to welcome a leader who has traveled this road with us from the consultation process, which started in June. Before we do so, let us take a hand this side here, which is going to propose that we adopt the amendment made on the Constitution of Afrika Mayibuye movement, and then we second from this side. I have noted that hands. Let's walk to the microphone. I've noted you, comrade. I'm going to note a female comrade from this side. we adhere to our principle as Afrika Mayibuye movement that everything that we do must be gender balanced. I'm noting a female hand this side. Let's walk to the microphone. Yes, comrade.
Itlefa Mlungisi Chakela, Mafikeng, Ward 10, Nakamandir Mulema. I hereby adopt the documents as they are.
The Northwest move for the adoption. A lady comrade there. I've noted you.
Lochani, ibizo lami ngolebhang Alisha Ngogadlamini. Ngibuya kwaNdebele Thembisilani local municipality. Nkangala region. I'm the first deputy chairperson weMpumalanga province. I second the speaker.
Thank you very much. Comrades, the Constitution of Afrika Mayibuye has been duly adopted, proposed by the Northwest and seconded by Mpumalanga in this first inaugural Convention of Afrika Mayibuye Movement 5 to 7 December 2025 here at Soweto campus, University of Johannesburg. Let us welcome comrades to the podium, a leader who has traveled this road with us from the level of the consultations of Afrika Mayibuye movement, where we spoke to the kings, the kingdoms, and all religious leaders of South Africa and all sectors of society, a leader who says, we are not going to give up on our people. We are not going to give up on making sure that come 2026, we are going to provide better services, quality water, quality health care, and electricity to our people. That leader is a leader of Afrika Mayibuye movement, the president of Afrika Mayibuye movement, Comrade Nico Shivambu.
Mayibuye, Mayibuye, ya Afrika, Mayibuye, ya Afrika. Viva Afrika Mayibuye movement, viva. Viva Afrika Mayibuye movement, viva. Amanda, away two. No, thank you very much, National Chairperson, and thank you very much to the leadership. I think from the beginning, comrades, delegates, the people of South Africa, I think we must give a round of applause for a very successful inaugural national convention of Afrika Mayibuye movement. We have now come to the conclusion of this very important gathering in the politics of South Africa. We acknowledge all the leaders that have joined us, the guests, the Council of Elders, led by Nkosi Mthimkhulu, the religious sector led by our Archbishop, the Chaplain General Archbishop Bafana Zondo, and all the religious leaders that have been with us here, the delegates from all the provinces. We always affirm that we have got delegates from all the 9 provinces, and all the 53 districts of South Africa are represented in this national convention. So all of us, now that we have adopted the commission reports and resolutions, we have adopted the Constitution. Want to assure you now that all of us that have been appointed into leadership responsibilities are appointed there for the terms of office that we have agreed upon. The National Court team members, including all the officials and the additional members, is 7 years for the inaugural term. And for all the provincial court teams, it's 5 years. For all the provincial court teams is 5 years as the inaugural term of office, and thereafter it will be 4 years. It's 7 years inaugural term for the NCT, and thereafter 5 years. And then it's 5 years for the PCT, and thereafter will be 4 years. It's 4 years of all the appointed regional core teams. And thereafter, it will be 3 years. It's 3 years for the sub-regional core teams, and then thereafter will be 2 years. I'm emphasizing this so that all of us work within a framework. It's not a limitless term, but we must know that there are certain things that are expected from all of us. One of those that we expect as the leadership is that we must avoid gatekeeping into the organization. We must avoid gatekeeping into the organization. That is number one. Number two, we must not migrate the squabbles and factions of other political parties into Mayibuye. If you had differences with people in the ANC, this is not the ANC. If you had differences with people in MK, this is not MK. If you had differences with people in the EFF, this is not the EFF. This is Mayibuye. Africa has got its own life. And we must respect its integrity on everything else that we do. We must not come with squabbles and fights of other political parties. We must be a movement that is open for all the membership. There is no one who is going to remove you from the leadership responsibility. So don't have fear. Even if when we get people who are much more better experienced and skilled than you in terms of local government, allow them to come to Mayibuye, Africa. Let's stop all forms of gatekeeping. Comrades, we have already given way forward in the political address that we gave that let us go and constitute VD-based branches with a minimum of 50 members. Each and every VD-based branch must have a minimum of 50 members. If you have historically been involved in coordination and doing and being involved in elections work, you will know that as permanent infrastructure, you need to have VD-based structures. Elections take place at VD level. There are very few wards in South Africa, it's less than 5, that have got only one VD. I think it is the ward in central Johannesburg where Joburg Park North is covered, and one ward in eThekwini. Very few wards have got one VD, but all the VDs must have a minimum of 50 members. If we want to be a self-respecting organization that wants to take over political power, all the VDs must have a minimum of 50 members so that we can have the necessary presence. And all the wards membership will be a result of the membership that comes from VDs, including the ward leadership must necessarily have representation of all the VDs. One of the things which we also have raised before is that this demarcation that, particularly in rural areas, that has been imposed, undermines a lot of traditional authorities. And I can tell you now, there are so many villages that have never had organized political activity because in a ward which has got 5 villages, you find that one village is dominating everything. From 1995, when local government began in South Africa, councillors have been coming from one village, and the other villages are not looked after. And the same with service delivery. I come where I was born, is Ward 17 in Collins Chabane municipality, in Vembe district in Limpopo. Ward 17 has got Mpambo village, has got Maonisiville, has got Maonisi village, has got Shkamani village. And when they give report about the work that they have done for Ward 17, they say, no, we have built a ring road in Ward 17, but that ring road is built in Mpambo village. There is nothing in the village which I come from, Maonisi village, which has ever been done by any municipality, by any government, except some dilapidating RDP houses, which were not needed and built in 1997, and 80% of them have collapsed. So ourselves, we necessarily should have VD-based branches as the primary and most basic unit of our movement. That is the only way we're going to be in constant touch with our people. Comrades, we are going to start the year with an elections workshop. The comrade, I forgot the name, from the capital city of Pretoria in Mamelodi, said we must speak about elections. In the beginning of the year, we're going to start with elections workshop, which will be a national gathering with representatives from all the regions, from all the provinces, and all the strategic sectors, where we are going to talk in detail as to how do we speak to all the voters in South Africa. How do we speak to all the 42 million people above the age of 18 and those who are still going to turn 18? Because we must also run a thorough registration campaign and program to register the more than 20 million people who are not on the voters' roll. It must be the primary responsibility of Mayibuye to go and look for the people who are not on the voters' roll. Because in 2024, only 16 million adults voted in the general elections, despite the fact that those who are above the age of 18 in South Africa is more than 42 million. We have to go and look for those people that have lost faith, have lost confidence in this so-called democratic government. There is no any other scientific way to illustrate that the people have lost faith in this institution of so-called democracy. Our people do not trust politicians. Our people do not trust politics in South Africa as we speak. Because politics have gotten to make the conditions of the people worse. Through corruption, through lack of service delivery, through non-maintenance of basic municipal infrastructure. Our roads have got potholes everywhere. In some instances, we even wish there was no road at all constructed by a municipality. If you go to Bushbuck Ridge, towards Manyelet, in Shubukan, there is no need for those roads to be existing because, if anything, the gravel road was better than that. The water infrastructure is collapsing. All wastewater treatment systems are collapsing. We still have many areas in South Africa that do not have water. 31 years after the so-called democracy. And that is why our people have lost confidence in politics, in the electoral system. We, as Mayibuye Africa, must fill that gap and revive the hope of our people to say that we can achieve total freedom and emancipation now. That is why we must go on the ground and be present in all the areas. Our elections workshop should develop a clear framework as to how do we speak to all the people of South Africa and give them a clearer alternate vision and a clear framework. The other aspect, comrades, that should be an immediate program of action for all the sub-regions, the regions and provinces. Let us go and speak to our people. Let us go and listen to our people. We already have said here that the greatest lesson that we derived out of the Mayibuye consultation process is that our people know what is to be done. Our people are not empty buckets who are waiting for electoral promises. Let us go on the ground and source solutions. Our manifesto for 2026 must be based wholly on the input of the people on the ground. And the manner in which we interact with the people must be respectful. As leadership of the sub-region, of the region, of the province, as national leaders, when you organize a community engagement in an area, you must set aside the whole day. You can't organize 2 or 3 meetings in the same day because you will be in a hurry to go to the next meeting. You will not be different from all these other political parties who are always in a hurry to where you will not know. Check the politicians from all these political parties. Whether they attend a funeral or wedding or family gathering, they will never finish their time there. They are always in a hurry to somewhere, and you will not know where they are going to. Because there's nothing that they are doing. If there was something that they were doing, we could see with the developmental impact. In Mayibuye, if you are a leader of Mayibuye, even when you attend a funeral, you can't be in a hurry to go elsewhere. When you attend and visit a church, you must be there for the whole day. You set aside the whole day. When you attend a wedding, you must attend the whole day and not be in a hurry and interact with the people much more convincingly. You know, we were in a funeral 3 weeks ago in Hebron of the mother of the provincial secretary of Northwest. May his soul rest in peace. We're with Secretary General Mahlaba and Fundraiser General Magubane. And one of them had suggested that immediately after the funeral we must leave. We must go and leave to Johannesburg. And I said, we can never do that. We do not work like that. Let us stay here. And we stayed for a very long time. And later on, the members of the community, Deputy President Mahohodi was there as well, and the leadership of Bojanala. When time was progressing, the community members said, can we please be told how do we join Mayibuye and where do we join Mayibuye? I can tell you now, just there in that place, when we left, we had recruited not less than 100 members of people who said that we are willing to work for Mayibuye because you are here with us. If we were in a hurry, we would have missed an opportunity to speak and convince a lot of our people. And that is the case everywhere. It's applicable to everywhere. So leaders of Mayibuye, when you go on the ground, be patient with the people. Sometimes you must be able to listen even to things that you do not agree with. Sometimes you must be able to keep quiet and listen even to misrepresentation of facts. Don't interrupt when a person is saying something and says, you do not know anything, you do not know anything. Allow people to speak. And then when you come, you must respectfully correct them to say that actually that information has been updated. This is the fact now. And not be dismissive. Let us go and interact with our people on the ground. Comrades, we expect all of us to be guided and informed by the principle of selflessness. I don't have a single doubt that majority, if not all of us here, will be deployed to one or another form of responsibility in public representation in government. So that is guaranteed. Like I know, and it's not even a major issue. But let's be selfless. Let's have selflessness in the true sense. And you know, we can boldly say and advise comrades now that those who think that at these formative stages, there's going to be salaries and convoys of cars to drive them around and school fees, budgets, and all of those things. Those who have got that anticipation, you are in a wrong organization. Do you know, comrades, we all of us in the officials here, Deputy Chair of the Mayibuye Africa, all of us, we were proper extorted. Including by that affiliate which the chairperson of King Tetoya region was talking about, which must be deleted from the constitution. Every day, no, there's a meeting of my organization, 20,000, 40,000, every day. And we keep on saying that, comrades, we are building a new organization. We do not have endless resources. But every day when a person opens their mouth is money. We will be able to build an organization that will exist in all corners of South Africa. We take full responsibility ourselves as the national leaders that will go and fundraise adequate resources to make sure that all the members of Afrika Mayibuye have got t-shirts. When we contest elections, all of them must have posters, pamphlets, and basic campaign material, so that we can be able to reach out to as many people as possible. But also as leaders at sub-regional, at regional, at provincial level, you must take responsibility. You must take full responsibility of leadership. It can't be correct that when we say, please convene a regional meeting, even of the leadership, no, I want resources. Every time. Let us come with ways of how we get to raise resources. We have convened this very successful national convention because all of us here contributed for the national convention to be successful. And there is nothing wrong. So some people were thinking that it's a scandal that we said that because we do not have a budget, we are not yet a represented party, which gets allocation from the IEC or from government or from parliament. We said for this national convention to be successful, we should have all the delegates contribute 500 rands. And that is how we're able to cover for accommodation, cover for food, cover for transport. At the end of this national convention, there will not be anyone in South Africa who is owed by Afrika Mayibuye movement. And that is due to, and that also is a demonstration of commitment to the cause. That is a demonstration of commitment to the cause. If all corners of South Africa could come to say, let us have this national convention. Come hail, come high waters, come whatever thing, it will happen. On Wednesday, the Archbishop convened pastors. Bishop Chabalala was there, Bishop all the bishops that Bishop Jones was there, they preached, we even prayed for money to fund this national conversion. And when we're praying, we didn't have a single cent to pay for many of the things that have to be paid for. And we stood up, myself with the deputy president, to say we fully accept and in faith we are going to have this national convention. And from there, then opportunities began to open up. People say, no, can I cover KwaZulu-Natal? Can I cover Western Cape? Can I cover Northern Cape? Some of the delays was because the commitments were coming drips by drips. But ultimately, we were able to have a national convention that is represented by all our people. So, comrades, we've got a journey ahead. We've got an appointment with the future. And the future will belong to Afrika Mayibuye movement. You know, I had brief interaction with former President Kgalema Motlanthe at the National Day of Prayer. And I said to him that I don't see the ANC in the future. There is no ANC in the future. It will never exist then. And there must never be a vacuum. That is why Afrika Mayibuye movement becomes the necessary replacement of a dead liberation movement, of a directionless liberation movement, and come with a 21st century liberation movement that is defined by principles of accountability, of openness, of meritocracy, that is in love with our people, that respects traditional leaders, that respects religious leaders, that seeks guidance from the people of South Africa. Comrades, if you had constituted a faction of any kind in the organization, that faction is dissolved with immediate effect. If you were not in speaking terms with any of the members or leaders of Afrika Mayibuye movement, from now on you must be on speaking terms. We do not have space for squabbles. We do not have space for petty politics. We must always show a united force on the ground. We must always be exemplary. The people must always gain inspiration from how we operate. And we must be respectful. We must not use vulgar language even against political opponents. We must speak with respect. We must refer to people with proper titles. If Archbishop is Archbishop, his title is Archbishop. It's not Pastor Zondo. It's Archbishop Zondo. If a person is a chief apostle, if it's Apostle Mushala in Chekina, in the Western Cape, it's Apostle Mushala. If it is Nkosi so and so, the titles must always be correct. Because you are going to visit churches and religious institutions. Some are led by reverends, some are led by bishops, some are led by chief apostles. And then because you come from your own ideas of what should happen, you just refer to them as you feel already they are turned off. Already their congregants will be like, and you, in some instances, pastor is a category far below the archbishop. And then you come then and say, I want to thank Pastor Zondo. The church already is turned off. That you are here to demote our archbishop to a pastor. Leadership of Mayibuye must know how to interact with our people. We must know how to respect our people. And most importantly, comrades, as leadership, when people raise complaints against service delivery issues in your communities, you can't always join into complaining. As Mayibuye, you must come with clear alternatives and solutions as to what do we do now. Our people know leadership. If you join into complaining, they will think, no, this is part of us. He's on this side. She's on this side. If we complain, they complain. When they come to you to say, we've got a problem of water here, they want you to come with a solution. They don't want you to say that, I know that it has been like that for 5 years. They don't want you to repeat after them. They want you to come with a solution as to what do we do now? The reason we say total freedom and emancipation now is that in all material times, as Afrika Mayibuye movement, we must come with solutions now. Our people are not hungry tomorrow. Our people are not homeless tomorrow. Our people are not jobless tomorrow. Our people are jobless now. Our people need solutions now. If we sit in leadership structures from VD level, ward level, sub-regional level, regional level, and talk amongst ourselves as to what do we do now, we'll come with solutions. The Black People's Convention, which we spoke about, led by President Winfred Khwari and Honorary President Stephen Bantu Biko, under apartheid conditions, with no resources, had multiple projects that empowered many communities. And by the way, some of those are still in existence to this day. The Zanompilo healthcare facility is still in existence, although now under government regulation, but it was started by the Black Consciousness Movement's Black People's Convention. If we sit down honestly and reflect to say, yes, we are going to develop a manifesto from amongst the people, but what do we do now? What interventions can we make now? And if some of the issues are issues that require upper levels of leadership, we must then be able to elevate those issues to say, province, can't you find a solution for this? National, can't you find a solution for this and that? Comrades, let's go on the ground with discipline. We really appreciate that we came from all corners of South Africa. There are many problems in this country, and the political principals and political occupants of office are unable to resolve the crisis of South Africa. Criminals do as they wish. They have declared a national state of disaster on gender-based violence and femicide. But things go on as usual. If we were to ask government today that since you have used Section 23 of the Disaster Management Act to declare a national disaster on gender-based violence and femicide, what is it that you have done differently since the declaration of gender-based violence as a national disaster? Nothing. And that is what they always do. There are certain things that have to be attended to differently. If gender-based violence is a state of disaster, there must visibly be something that is done differently. And we have called in the press conference that we had that the area which must be declared a national state of disaster is also the shortage of water in many areas in South Africa. If we can declare a national state of disaster on water shortages, we will be able to resolve the crisis and dedicate everything, improve the coordination of government, and even call on society. Those that can fund a borehole somewhere, let them fund a borehole. Businesses must be involved, churches must be involved in resolving the water crisis. We can't have a country 31 years into so-called inclusive democracy, and you have got areas where people share water with animals. That is why we as Afrika Mayibuye have already begun with the little resources that we do not even have. In some of the interventions and areas where we visit, we are going to dig borehole and install water systems even before our government. Because we appreciate that we need to make interventions as soon as yesterday. Comrades, we have done very well. We have achieved all that we sought to achieve with this national convention. So let us, all of us, travel safely back to our homes. I'm sure at the end, the Archbishop is going to pray for all of us. Let us go to festive season and be safe in all forms and all manner. Let us look after one another. Let us make sure that we look after those that cannot look after themselves. The little resources that will gain access to, you must think that when it gets to excess levels, who else do you empower? Who else do you assist? And not just be wasteful and be boastful that you have got more than enough. When there are neighbors, there are friends, there are family members, there are communities that do not have anything to eat. All of us, let's go on the ground and speak to our people with humility. Whenever we have got additional resources, let's see how we help the poorest of the poor. Let us see how we respond to the immediate challenges that confront our society. Thank you very much, comrades. We really appreciate that all of us have gathered here. Amanda! Away, two! Mayibuye ya tireli wala. Mayibuye ya tireli wa. Wala la. Wala la. Mayibuye ya setsenzelwa la. Mayibuye ya setsenzelwa la. Wala la. Wala la. Mayibuye ya berekelwa la. Mayibuye ya berekelwa la. Wala la. Wala la. Mayibuye ya shumeri wala. Mayibuye ya shumeri wala. Wala la. Afrika. Afrika. Woza 2026, woza. Woza 2026, woza. Woza 2029, woza. Saitata South Africa, saitata. Saitata South Africa, saitata. Saitata South Africa, saitata. Raichia South Africa, raichia. Raichia South Africa, raichia. Aiteka South Africa, aiteka. Aiteka South Africa, aiteka. Mayibuye. Afrika. Mayibuye. Afrika. Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Comrade President, for a powerful closing remarks of this inaugural Afrika Mayibuye Movement Convention here in Johannesburg. This is history in the making. An organization which is less than 6 months, which gathered all activists from across South Africa to come and shape up this beautiful movement, which is indeed going to deliver quality services to our people. Let's give the President a round of applause. Thank you very much. I'm now going to invite the Secretary General of Afrika Mayibuye Movement, Comrade Lazola Ndamase, to come and make announcements of this inaugural convention of Afrika Mayibuye Movement. Comrade Lazola.
Mayibuye. Mayibuye. Afrika. Afrika. Amandla. Matla. Kiaruna. Thank you very much, Chairperson. My responsibility is to make a few announcements. But first and foremost, comrades, we would like to thank the comrades that drove you here. The drivers of taxis, the drivers of buses, who carried you here in conditions of uncertainty, and they delivered diligently. I know that many of them promised that they would be taking membership forms and recruiting for Afrika Mayibuye. That's what most provinces informed us of. So please, comrades, involve those comrades in your activities. Involve them in your activities. Follow up on the work that they will be doing. When I was coming here, I also recruited the Uber driver that I was traveling with. And then he took the details of the provincial chair of Gauteng. And he promised that he is going to recruit much more Uber drivers. The comrades guarding us there at the gate who work for UJ, they also insisted that they believe it is their revolutionary duty to recruit for Afrika Mayibuye. We must involve these comrades in our work. And we must appreciate that the number of people they get to interact with means that this organization can only grow. And we must work with them on a constant basis, comrades. We must not break that chain of interaction. Comrade Sydney, what you had suggested that you want to do, I think you should be proceeding. I think you should be proceeding with what you had suggested that you want to do. We want to thank the administration that has assisted us with this conference. Want to thank Ibru there at the back, Ukombe Tumpumi. Want to thank Ukomre Refilwe for the hard work. We want to thank the comrades that stayed with us until the early hours of the morning on Friday, who were busy assisting with ensuring that comrades get rooms. We want to thank the comrades who were patient enough under trying conditions on Friday and yesterday. We must thank the comrades that were patient enough with us on Friday particularly. We want to apologize to the comrades for some of the weaknesses that they were able to find. Comrade Baloyi, brief me when you are done. The comrades that fundraised from zero for this convention, we must thank them. Me ubulechi ore, she had to tell the children that bread for now can wait. We are going towards more bread for the whole country. The willingness to sacrifice one for the success of the rest is the revolutionary duty that we must clap hands for. Comrades, we want to thank everybody that has carried this organization from its infancy into the multitudes that it has now. But we must thank Amakos. We must thank Amakos that have been the shoulders on which this organization stands. It has not happened in 100 years in this country that an organization has Amakos. In 100 years, it has not happened. These are the people abanye babo igazi labo elatyegezwa phezu kwentlambo zenqabarha. So these are the people who carried this struggle from the day the Europeans arrived on this land. And to have them in our organization is no small matter. They are the generations of people who were consigned to Robben Island. They are generations of people who were the first to be killed by the colonists. And in 100 years, it has not happened that they become part of an organization. They had given up on our little squabbles. They carry our organization. We must thank the archbishops that have carried us. You know, some people usually say, Archbishop Zondo, that sometimes you can believe certain things when you see them. We have seen the importance of the religious community to this organization and the central role that it has played. And therefore, comrades, we want to say to you that the closing event of the gala dinner is still on, and all provinces are welcome to come and join us in that event. And the ongoing preparations update will be continued through the provincial secretaries and provincial chairpersons and provincial treasurers. The potential businesses that you can assist to join us, please do so, comrades. The date is still the 13th of December, 2025. Amandla.
Thank you very much, Comrade Secretary General of Afrika Mayibuye Movement, Comrade Lazola Ndamase, for the announcement. Comrades, delegates, the leadership of all provinces, led by provincial chairs and secretaries who came here today, members of the National Core Team, on behalf of the officials of Afrika Mayibuye Movement, let me take this moment and also thank the Council of Elders of Afrika Mayibuye Movement, led by Khosim Timkulu, for gracing us with your presence, and for also making sure that you make means to travel here from all corners of South Africa and making sure that you come and contribute in compiling and contributing to this movement, which is going to provide quality services to our people after the 2026 local government elections. Let me take this moment once more and say thank you very much on behalf of the national officials. I'm now going to call to the podium Archbishop Bafana Zondo to come and round up and close up with a prayer and invite God in our traveling masses. Archbishop Zondo.
Manta. Awethu. Akakale athabela uya haiji. Why you don't look like you are happy? Because it's time to go home. Eba twamdim. Wabona mo. Atamina re hai. Jwale se le dutse fatshe ke re menga maoto. Ntho tse ding di batla ho emelwa ka maoto. Maybe heading to the prophet to Akamoto Semekai. Chair, in my prayer, I want you to allow me to pray for the businessmen and the businesswomen that are here, that their businesses will grow. Those who understand when I talk about business, they know I mean what I say. Re leboha haholo president le moifo wa hae kaofela. Re leboha modimo hape le ka lona hobane le tlile. Re leboha modimo ya re fileng mohau le monyetla wa hore re be mona. Ke tlo kopa baruti kaofela ba ka hare ho lona ka mona. As we are going to pray for you going back to your respective home. Baruti kaofela, all the pastors, all the bishops, all the apostles, lady bishops, lady what, all of you. But Afrika Mayibuye re na le baruti. And you must know moruti e mong le mong o na le kereke, o represent a church, o represent a constituency. Morena boloka setjhaba sa heso. O fedise dintwa le matshwenye. Morena bolo ka setjhaba sa heso. O fedise dintwa le matshwenye. O se boloke. O se boloke morena. Setjhaba sa aheso. O setjhaba sa Afrika. Uza moya. Uza moya. Uza moya. Oi, ele nkosi sigelela tina. Realeboa this moment. Baruti, we are going to lift up our hands and stretch our hands towards the leadership. Because this leadership, we believe, they have received the direction. Because it will be a disaster to be led by a directionless leadership. People that are proudful, pompous, who look down at other people. So we must break and destroy the spirit of pride, and that God will give them the heart to serve people, not to serve their own self-interest, but to serve the people. And to understand that the vision that is given to Afrika Mayibuye is not their personal thing, but is the vision, as I said the other day, that vision is an answer to the problem. I'll say it one more time. You know, I'm accustomed to people to say amen, so that's why I'm gonna, I know some of them, they don't know what is amen. You know, what is spelled Costco, you see. So a vision, it's an answer to the plight that the community is facing. That vision is not for self-enrichment, but is to enrich the people that God has called you to be among them in this time. I agree with one of the speakers who said, President Nyeko Chivambo is called for time such as this. And I can believe that he understands fully that this is the time that is called for. I heard how people would say things on the social media and he doesn't even bother to answer them. But I said it's because he knows his mission and his assignment. And he's not going to allow that mission, vision, and his assignment to be aborted by the naysayers. So we pray that the people that surround the president be the people who will make him to be all what he's supposed to be. Because the people who surround leaders, they either make them or break them. So, as we call you pastors, it's for you to bind that demon of competition. The demon of wishing it was me. And all those secret, bad, diabolic agendas in the hearts of men, who look at you and laugh with you, but knowing in their hearts of hearts that they hate you with passion. So we need to pray for this leadership, that they will overcome the spirit of witchcraft. They will overcome the spirit of witchcraft. Witchcraft is a spirit that will make people to be what they are not supposed to be. And you need to understand, this is what I say in church. I don't pray that God will bless me, but I pray that God will bless the people I lead, because when they eat, they will remember me. And I tell them that I am because you are. Not you are because I am. We need to understand that this nation is waiting for you leaders, Because all of you sitting here, you are leaders. This nation is waiting for you. Don't you let them down. Let me say it again until you say amen. I said, don't you let them down. Because they believe in you and they trust you. Let the love of God arise and his enemies be scattered. When people have a love for the organization, President, money will never be a problem. Money becomes a problem when people hate the organization. We are going to come for, we call it a gala dinner. It's called gala. Yeah, a gala, you know. So we're going to come to gala. All the leaders that are here, we must go and prepare ourselves for what? Why? Because we love Afrika Mayibuye. And guess what? Afrika Mayibuye is not something else somewhere there. But Afrika Mayibuye is who we are. Let us be led. For those who don't understand the Bible, let us be led by the spirit of Ubuntu. Wazi ukuthi umuntu ngumuntu ngabantu. So as we go back to our respective home, we pray that God will protect you as you travel on the highway and the byways. We have to pray that even our drivers won't slumber. And when they are tired, let them tell you, guys, you are tired, let us relax. Don't push them. Hey, let us be considerate. Gabantu nabo bafana nathi, and they are carrying people's lives. We don't want any bad name, any bad news, any breaking news that are bad. Afrika Mayibuye. Love it as you love yourself. Let us stretch our hands, and the leadership will stretch their hands towards you, and you stretch their hands towards them, because there's a lot of responsibility to them. I have heard the secretary that the responsibility is made out of two English words. You respond to the ability that you are entrusted with. Thank you very much. You're going to teach me English, guys. So let's pray. Lord, thank you for the shared wisdom and the new ideas that were born from this conference. Bless the effort of your people, and this effort must be implemented. They must implement these plans. These transforming discussions that took place, Lord. Let them put them into action. Remove fear among us. Remove confusion among us. Replacing it with calm assurance and diligence, so that the work that Mayibuye, Afrika Mayibuye, will glorify you at the end of the day. Guide us as we go forth, O God. Abba, Father, thank you for this precious time of renewal and aspiration. May the spirit of unity flow between us as we continue to hold each other in prayer and serve in grace. Enfold our family, Lord, and friends with your love, and help us to live out our purpose through Afrika Mayibuye, knowing that we will never be alone. I pray for this leadership. I pray for their businesses, oh God. I pray that you will bless them. I pray that God will give them divine connection. You'll give them people who will come and invest to expand their businesses. We pray for South Africa. We pray that God, you'll give us insight, you'll give us wisdom, you'll give us understanding, you'll give us to know how to become that which we're supposed to be in this country. It's in the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ that we have prayed. And Father, we thank you. We thank you for our leadership. We thank you for our leadership. Bless them, Lord. Bless them and protect them as we are going to this festive season, oh God. We pray that no child, no home that will experience a black Christmas. We pray that, God, some of us who have some little thing we can share with our own neighbors and make a difference where we are. It's in the name of our Lord that we have prayed. As we travel, God, we pray. Give them, Lord, the traveling mercies. Give them the traveling mercies. Anoint their minds, their hearts, their ears. Let them see. Let them hear. Let them have it, oh God, in their heart to know that they are a solution to this country. It's in the name of our Lord that we have prayed. Amen and amen.
Thank you very much, Archbishop Bafana Zondo and the team of chaplaincy. Comrades, let us remain seated and allow the President and the Council of Elders to exit the room. Comrades, let's remain seated. Let us remain seated. Let's give the honors to the Council of Elders of Afrika Mayibuye, the President and officials, to go up and speak to all those who want to understand as to where we are heading to as Afrika Mayibuye movement. Let us remain seated. I have a charger here, comrades. I have, there's a comrade from the Free State province who gave a phone to a female marshal. And we can't locate the female marshal. If you have the phone, please bring it to the fourth. If you have a phone, please bring it to the fourth.